The gravel road crunched beneath Eva's tires as she arrived at the faded wooden sign that read, "Welcome to Elders Hollow," in chipped, hand-painted letters. The rural town did not appear on any current map, and she had only found its mention on a yellowed postcard buried in her late grandmother's attic. Curiosity had led her there, a burning need to uncover why her grandmother had once called it home before abruptly leaving in the dead of night in 1957, vowing never to speak of it again. The houses were scattered, humble constructs of pale wood and sagging porches, surrounded by dense thickets and fog that lingered unnaturally even in the daylight. As Eva stepped out of her car, she noted the silence, not a bird, not a breeze, just the low hum of nothing. No one came to greet her, yet she was certain she was being watched from behind drawn curtains and shadows. She booked a small room above the old general store, the only establishment with a vacancy sign swinging lazily in the still air. The innkeeper, a wiry old man with cloudy eyes and a crooked spine, handed her the rusting key without a word. Despite her gently voiced questions about her grandmother, whose name she now realized no one would utter, he only stared through her, mouth slightly ajar, as if someone had just walked through her instead. That night, the room groaned with expansion and contraction, the wooden walls creaking like they were settling after long years of silence. At 2:14 a.m., she woke to a rustling under the bed. There was nothing when she looked. The window was ajar even though she'd locked it. Written in condensation on the glass were the words, "You found US." Over the next few days, Eva walked the town's 3 main roads, visiting the church, the shuttered school, and the library boarded from the inside. Each building felt more like a memorial than something once functional. Strangely, every clock she passed displayed the identical time, 2:14. Behind the library, she met a girl, no more than 10, standing barefoot in a pale nightgown. Her eyes were too wide, her pupils dilated like she'd never seen daylight. When Eva asked her name, the girl whispered something unintelligible and pointed to a dilapidated house nestled at the edge of the forest. "She's still in there," the girl said, before walking backward into the woods, never turning around. Eva called after her, heart-hammering, but the child melted into the trees like mist down a drain. The house's roof sagged in the middle, and vines climbed up the crumbling stone foundation like skeletal fingers reaching for warmth. Eva recognized it immediately. It matched the photo tucked inside the postcard, her grandmother and 2 other women standing on the porch, unsmiling, stiff as statues. Her hands trembled as she pushed open the door. A choking smell of mildew and something metallic hit her, but what terrified her more was the sense of familiarity. A grandfather clock in the corner began to move its pendulum, though no mechanism powered it. It too read 2:14. On every surface, mirrors, inside drawers, under the peeling wallpaper, she found the name Mary scrawled again and again. Her grandmother's name. In the upstairs bedroom, she found a chair facing the corner. On its seat, a cassette tape labeled, "Do not play." Despite everything in her screaming not to, Eva took the tape to a small recorder salvaged from the living room shelf. She braced herself and pushed play. Static roared for several seconds before a voice, frighteningly close to her grandmother's, began to speak. "We asked her to leave. She refused. The town is hers now. She is the timekeeper." Then silence. 20 seconds passed before a sudden clicking began, like long fingernails against wood, rising steadily in tempo. Somewhere deep within the house, a woman began to laugh, not joyfully, but in a fractured, rhythmic swell like she was remembering something terrible and couldn't stop. Eva tore the tape from the deck, but the laugh continued, even after the recorder clattered to the ground in pieces. Eva fled, deciding enough was enough. She packed her things in haste and revved the engine, praying the car would start. It did, but just as she reached the edge of town, the road began to stretch. Literally stretch. Buildings kept repeating, appearing at intervals like she was stuck in a loop. The general store, church, library, house, general store again. Her GPS flickered meaningless static, and the numbers on her watch reversed and froze at 2:14. With her foot pressed hard on the gas, she smashed through what looked like nothing, a mirage, a veil, and then found herself parked back at the inn, car off, key in hand, engine silent. No matter which direction she walked, forest, field, gravel road, she ended up back in the same place. Elders Hollow did not intend to release her. That night, she decided to confront whatever was orchestrating the madness. She returned to the house, now fully aware it had been expecting her. The walls pulsed like they breathed. Standing in the hallway, she saw herself walk past the mirror, only she hadn't moved. The reflection turned, smiled, and whispered, "You'll stay." Like she did. From behind her, something cold pressed against her lower back, the unmistakable feel of fingers. She spun, heart threatening to seize, but nothing stood there. Yet her shoulders twitched, compelled to turn around, to face the thing in the corner room as the door behind her gently creaked open. And from the darkness within, came the voice of her grandmother, saying softly, "Time's up."